Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhan Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhan Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhan Hari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhan Hari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhan Hari Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Gaur Pimanandi Dayam Vishupad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajagacharya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Sirabai Charan Narvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Kandibiti Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai Sri Sri Gaurnita Ki Jai Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Sri Radha Madhava Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Pimanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Daksurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vansakalpa Trubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagvatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayasya badrishu
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
नित्यं भागवतसेवया
Bhagavati Tamasloke
भागवति उत्तमश्लोके
Bhaktira Bhaviti Naistiki.
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी
By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee. All that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
इदं भागवत नाम
Puranam Brahmasamitam
पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितं
Uttamaslokya Charitam
उत्तमश्लोकचरितं
Sakara Bhagavan Rishi
चकार भगवान् ऋषिः
Nishreyasaya Lokasya
निःश्रेयसाय लोकस्य
Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat.
धन्यं स्वस्यनं महत्
This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantara, as the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya
श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य
Prabhu Nityananda
प्रभु नित्यानंद
Sri Advaita Gadadhara
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
हरे कृष्णा
Krishna Krishna Hare
कृष्णा
Hare
कृष्णा हरे हरे
Hare Rama Hare
हरे
Rama
राम हरे राम
Rama Rama Hare
राम
Hare
राम हरे हरे
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Sarabhyay Namaha
ओम सुरभ्याय नमः
Om Sarabhyay Namaha
ओम सुरभ्याय नमः
Om Sarabhyay Namaha
ओम सुरभ्याय नमः
Mukam karoti vasalam pangom nagayate girim yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yatkripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Vishnurata Prabhu, can you find out where is Adavinda? And when he's free, you can call him here. Yeah. We are continuing from canto number 1, chapter 19, text 21. 21, yes. Sarve Vayam Tabad Ihasmahe Atha Kalevaram Yavad Asau Vihaya Lokam Param Virajaskam Vishokam Yasyati Ayam Bhagavata Pradhanaha Sarve Vayam Tabad Ihasmaheta
सर्वे वयं तावदिहास्महेथा
Kalevaram Yavadasau Vihaya
कलेवरं यावदसौ विहाय
Lokam Param Virajaskam Vishokam
लोकं परं विरजस्कशोकं
Yasyachayam Bhagavata Pradhanaha
अयं भागवतप्रधानः
सर्वे Sarve vayam tavadiha
What happens to
smaheta.
the
सर्वे वयं
what happens every day to the
तावदिहास्महेत
Kalivaram yavadaso vihaya.
कलेवरं यावदसौ विहाय
cow dung.
Lokam param
I saw
virajaskam
him bringing
vishokam
by the
परविरजस्कं
banana orchard.
विशोकम्
What's he doing with it?
Ayam bhagavata
Where
pradhan.
story?
यास्यत्ययं भागवतप्रधानः
We're supposed to make
Yes.
सर्वे
Supposed to make.
सर्वे
But
वयं
half of we are
तावदिहास्महेत
making half of we are story.
वयं तावदिहास्महेत कलेवरं
Dry cow dung for plants.
यावदसौ विहाय
Dry cow dung for plants.
विहाय लोकं परं विरजस्कं विशोकम् लोकं परं विरजस्कं
So we should make maximum. We should
यास्यत्ययं
make cow cake for the
भागवतप्रधानः
for walls.
भागवतप्रधानः
Every day should put some.
Yes.
सर्वे वयं तावदिहास्महेत कलेवरं यावदसौ विहाय लोकं परं विरजस्कं विशोकम् यास्यत्ययं भागवतप्रधानः सर्वे वयं तावदिहास्महेत
Sarve vayam tavadihasmaheta
कलेवरं यावदसौ विहाय
Kalevaram yavadasav vihaya
लोकं परं विरजस्कं विशोकम्
Lokam param virajasam vishokam
यस्यात्ययं भागवता प्रधानः
Yasya kyam bhagavata pradhanaha Sarve
सर्वे
all
all
vayam
वयं
of us
of us
tavat
तावत्
as long as iha
इह
at this place
at this place
asmahe
अस्महे
shall stay
shall stay
atha hereafter
hereafter
kalevaram
कलेवरं
the body
body
yavat
यावत्
so long as
so long
as how
asau
the king
the king
vihaya
vihaya
giving up
giving up
lokam
lokam
the planet
planet
param
param
the supreme
the supreme
virajaskam
Virajaskam
completely free from
completely free from
mundane contamination
mundane contamination
vishokam
Vishokam
completely freed from
completely free from
all kinds of lamentation
all kinds of lamentation
yasyati
Yasyati
returns
returns
ayam
ayam
this
is
bhagavata
Bhagavata
devotee
devotee
pradhana
Pradhana
the foremost.
foremost
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sridham Prabhupada Ki. We shall wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contamination and all kinds of lamentation. Kind repeat after me. We shall all wait here
shall all wait here
until the foremost devotee of the Lord,
until the foremost devotee of the Lord
Maharaj Parikshit,
Maharaj Parikshit
returns to the supreme planet,
returns to the supreme planet
which is completely free
which is completely free
from all mundane contamination
from all mundane contamination
and all kinds of lamentation.
and all kinds of limitations.
Purport. Beyond the limitation of the material creation, which is compared to the cloud in the sky, there is the Parabyoma, or the spiritual sky, full of planets called Vaikunthas. Such Vaikuntha planets are also differently known as Purushottama Sloka, Achyutta Loka, Trivikrama Loka, Rishikesha Loka, Keshava Loka, Aniruddha Loka, Madhava Loka, Pradyumna Loka, Sankarsana Loka, Siddhara Loka, Vasudeva Loka, Ayodhya Loka, Dwarka Loka. Hare Krishna. We are visiting so many places. And many other millions of spiritual lokas, wherein the personality of Godhead predominates. All the living entities, okay. All the living entities, I'm glad it's getting done. All the living entities there are liberated souls with spiritual bodies as good as that of the Lord. There is no material contamination. Everything there is spiritual. And therefore, there is nothing objectively lamentable. They are full of transcendental bliss and are without birth, death, old age, and disease. And amongst all the above mentioned Vaikuntha lokas, there is one supreme loka called Goloka Vrindavan, which is the abode of the Lord Sri Krishna and his specific associates. Maharaj Parikshit was destined to achieve this particular loka. And the great rishis assembled there could foresee this. All of them consulted among themselves about the great departure of the great king. And they wanted to see him to the last moment because they would no more be able to see such a great devotee of the Lord. When a great devotee of the Lord passes away, there is nothing to be lamented because the devotee is destined to enter into the kingdom of God. But the sorry plight is that such great devotees leave our sight. And there is every reason to be sorry. There is nothing to be lamented, but there is every reason to be sorry simultaneously. As the Lord is rarely to be seen by our present eyes, so also are the great devotees. The great rishis therefore correctly decided to remain on the spot till the last moment. Translation again, we shall all wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contamination and all kinds of lamentation. Yes. And because the next text is not having purport and is just summarizing here also, I'm just going to read it. Ashrutya tad rishi gana vasa parikshit samam madhu chud guru cha vyalikam abhasatainan abhinandya yuktan Shusru Shamanas Charitani Vishnu. All that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear, full of meaning, and and appropriately presented as perfectly true. So after hearing them, Maharaj Parikshit, desiring to hear of the activities of Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, congratulated the great sages. And that is what we will be hearing tomorrow. Parikshit Maharaj congratulating again those great sages who are assembled on the banks of the Ganges. So Srila Prabhupada is very nicely taking us to the spiritual world, uh, giving a whole list of so many Vaikuntha planets known, just a few of the names shared here in the purport. Unlimited planets in the spiritual sky, in the spiritual world. We tend to forget about the spiritual world because we're in the material world. But the spiritual world is that abode where there is no mundane contamination, no lamentation, where everyone is eternally youthful, everyone is in full transcendental bliss and happiness. And the sages who are assembled here, because they know the good qualities of their king, Parikshit Maharaj. This is Prabhupada mentions how a sign of good governance is that the people are happy with their leader. And the opposite, of course, is true. When there is all kinds of uneasiness created by the people, that means that the governance is not proper. So this is specifically it is mentioned here that the rishis present, they must have been very advanced devotees as well. They knew that King Parikshit, he's going to the topmost planet of Goloka Vrindavan. I mean, even to know about the spiritual world is a big thing, you know. Even to know Aham Brahmasmi, that we are spirit souls, is is a great, although the beginning of realization, of transcendental realization, is a very, very major, we could say, realization. And there are so many different levels which different levels of transcendental realization. When we study what our acharyas explain, I believe that's mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, how this revelation, this knowledge of the topmost planet of Krishna Loka, this knowledge of Radha and Krishna, it is extremely confidential knowledge, which even to so many great transcendentalists was concealed until practically the advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We tend to take it for granted. We are, every day, by Prabhupada's mercy, having access to these transcendental literatures, uh, especially as uh, as commented upon by the Goswamis of Vrindavan. Before the Goswamis of Vrindavan, who were, as we know, they were deputed specifically by Lord Chaitanya to go very deeply in the Shastra and to extract the essence and what is the most uh, the most valuable jewels that are actually hidden within the Vedic literatures. Even the Mahamantra, again, Srila Prabhupada has, it's like Hare Krishna, as they say, has become a household word. And people, they see devotees, Hare Krishna, on the car. People put it on their car. Yeah, right. That's how you can recognize who's devotee and who's not devotee. It's like all pervading. Well, not fully all pervading, but it's very widely, and it is like an ongoing phenomena taking place. But before the event of Lord Chaitanya, this even during there was one devotee by the name Shankara, who was a contemporary to Lord Chaitanya, and he preached in Assam. He was especially fond of the Bhagvatam, but somehow what he preached, he actually he only preached the glories of Krishna, and he fully respected, and he considered actually the Bhagavatam as a deity. And I was told that during the time, I don't know if it's still there, in Assam, he was a very powerful preacher, and he would have people place the Bhagavatam as a deity in their home on the altar. And of course, as we know, Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. But he, but he never spoke about Radha and Krishna. He spoke only about Krishna. I mean, that's a good thing, but it is incomplete, isn't it? Yeah. So here we are being told, being introduced to, well, I guess even 5,000 years ago, at that particular time, many sadhus knew about the supreme planet in the spiritual world. And of course, that supreme planet is Krishna's planet, Goloka, Goloka Vrindavan specifically. So it is something very, very, very rare, very confidential as well. And here it is nicely mentioning how the sages were wanting to remain with Parikshit Maharaj. So there's this double level, dual level of feelings and emotions, as nicely expressed here by Srila Prabhupada. One, on the one hand, when we know that someone is a fully surrendered soul, there's no reason to lament, because that person, that devotee, is going back home, back to Godhead. At the same time, there is all reason to lament, because that individual, that person, will no longer physically be amongst the devotees, and devotees will not be able to get the same kind of association. Of course, it's a very, very deep subject matter, which is especially, it's a unique feature of our Gaudiya teachings, how serving in separation is considered even higher than directly serving saintly persons. This was especially, just like Lord Chaitanya, from the moment, even before, of course, but from the moment he took sannyas, his primary meditation, his his very strong desire was to immediately, and that's what he did actually, he started running after taking sannyas. He started running towards Vrindavan. He wanted to go to Vrindavan. But as we know, devotees, through different tricks and whatnot, arranged for him to come to Shantipur, where he stayed for some time. So many devotees, including Madhasachi, came to Shantipur. And it was decided that the Lord would not go to Vrindavan, but that he would rather stay in Jagannath Puri. So the Lord, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, stayed in Jagannath Puri. Although physically there in Jagannath Puri, he was fully in Vrindavan. So Lord Chaitanya actually fully demonstrated this aspect of separation. You know? He was. That's why Jagannath Puri is referred to. We were discussing a few days ago. What is Jagannath Puri referred to amongst our Vaishnava community? Bhava Vrindavan. And we know that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his last days, also went to Jagannath Puri. He actually, I don't know how many years, but when he was in the last last portion of his manifest pastimes.
He was here in the last portion.
No.
Bhakti Siddhanta was there.
No, Bhaktivinoda Thakur left his body in Jagannath Puri.
But he was official.
He
was official there.
He was?
He was officially appointed to be the leader of the Jagannath Puri, and then he came to, when he retired, he came to Mayapur.
We've not read the same, no.
Initially he was there because Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur took birth and he was there.
But then he was
After that-
appointed leader. He was in his role. But in the last part of his life,
he was being he was being cremated,
Right. That's right.
and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati
was
Thakur
here.
arrived, and he took the remains and brought them to Mayapur.
Right. Yeah. He was.
He was
not
in Jagannath
here
Puri.
because Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has to go
Yes,
take the.
take the body.
In fact, there was a little bit of controversy.
Right.
Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur did not want that he
I mean, I'll have to check my notes again, but my clear understanding.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can check on that. But he spent in that mood, isn't it? Because in that mood of Lord Chaitanya, in that mood. So I mean, this is very, very high level of transcendental realization, that it is much a much higher level to actually serve the instructions of the spiritual master as opposed to serving his vapu. It's called vapu and vani. Therefore, namaste saraswati deve gauravani pracharine. Gauravani pracharine. We as followers of Lord Chaitanya, we are meant to preach this Devani, the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Those instructions he has especially um, empowered. He has empowered his most confidential associates, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, and therefore they have all written so many extraordinary literatures, majority of which are totally unknown to the world today, some of which I came to know are still not translated. Actually, Indridum Maharaj spends time in Vrindavan, and I'd heard some time back how he has some devotees help because he doesn't know Sanskrit, as far as I know. But he has some devotee scholars who are helping to translate this, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote over 100 books. He's known as the seventh Goswami. And the Goswamis themselves, they wrote so many literatures. And because we are so busy in modern day life, even as devotees, we rarely, get a chance to read these transcendental literatures, but it is within the subject matters. We cannot imagine. There is such a thing in Vrindavan. I came to know some years back. Um, I think it was Mahanidhi Maharaj at the time. He wrote a book, I think, on different samadhis
Yes.
of Vrindavan.
Samadhis of
Samadhis of Vrindavan. Amongst the different samadhis in Vrindavan, there is one samadhi that is called Grantha Samadhi. You know about this? Grantha Samadhi. That some of the writings of the Goswamis were just like, I mean, even what we read is like, very elevated. But some of at that time, the devotees who were present during the time of the Goswamis, because, when Rup and Sanatan, and when all the Goswamis eventually left their bodies, they had written so many literatures, and the devotees at that time, in looking at all, the material, they chose certain literatures and put them in samadhi. It's
too high to.
right. It's like, even what is there now is like very. I mean, Prabhupada even mentioned, isn't it, that some literatures, unless one is at a particular level of consciousness, should not read. Many years ago, I was visiting Calcutta. Somehow I came in contact with one devotee. Devotee means, yeah, he was a devotee. His family was quite, and still is, common. Either Brahmana families or Kshatriya families, they will have their own temple, right? Their own deities, quite common. So he was from that kind of background. I forget. I think from Bhavana family. So he was telling me that yes, because somehow we were discussing about the Bhagavatam, and he said, my mother, he was about close to 40. My mother told me not to read the Bhagavatam, or at
Yeah,
least
he was also from man I met. He's from Brahmana family. I think the same person. I was amazed. It was
right.
forbidden because when I am out of family life, because I'm not pure enough to read, he was telling me.
Quite amazing.
But for that reason was that I mean, 50 or 100 years back, people who took sannyas, there would some few of those will take sannyas. Like I know in our family, somebody took sannyas, like my grandfather's father. So that was taken as Lord Chaitanya was taking sannyas and everybody was lamenting
Right,
because he will go.
right.
So basically, not everybody wanted that their son should
Yeah, so if he starts reading the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, he'll leave home,
make,
kind of.
yeah, he
And
may
they have
go
some
towards
ideology behind that.
that is the whole idea that
Sure.
that not everybody wanted that you should go too deep and then renounce from the worldly affairs.
Right. Don't take this too seriously.
Yeah. The same saints, they didn't allow to join to this Harinam Sankirtan because they become sannyasi. So they were keeping back their
But there are different families. There are families which would encourage also.
Right.
They are very rare.
Well, in India, it's not only taking danda. If you become a brahmachari, if you shave up, it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's already renounced.
Right,
yeah, big
right. Because normally in India, people shave up when there's death in the family. Right?
Yes.
So, we shave up every day. Not every day, but so yeah, it's a different psychology, different understanding.
And the whole Varnashram was prominent
Yes,
earlier. At least even 200 years back, it was more prominent and
yes,
accepted that not everybody is actually going to shave because shaving means that only Brahmanical class would be doing that often.
yeah,
But Kshatriya Vaishya, they will keep the hair.
yes,
I mean, even Arjuna
and beard.
and mustaches, beard.
Like in Chennai, there's Krishna with a beard, with a mustache.
Okay.
Yeah, when we in I think 1986, when there was a Padayatra for to celebrate the centennial, no, to celebrate the 500th anniversary of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah, 84, I think they left, devotees left, they went to Dwarka. And the Padayatra started from Dwarka and took a year and a half to arrive at Gaur Purnima, 1986. So on the way, we stopped in Madras. I didn't go I went to Dwarka actually with the devotees. And then again, I joined them in Madras, at that time, Madras, now Chennai, yeah. And then we went to this temple, and there was Krishna with his nice mustache. Because, in our books, Krishna, but yeah, Kshatriyas, they wear mustache. So our Prahlad Prajapati is like in that mood. But his students should not be in that mood prematurely. Yeah. So, yeah, in other words, what was actually really reserved for a particular time and for a particular the mission of Lord Chaitanya, kind of like especially what Srila Prabhupada has done. Well, it's even described, isn't it, that the Shishi Gornitai, they have come to break open the storehouse of love of God and to just widely distribute it all over the world, which is, of course, what is taking place. Um, so we get, anyways, a little um, glimpse of this, reminding us about the world of Vaikuntha and how everything that we are doing uh, is meant to prepare us. Uh, Otherwise, as we all know, and as we can see, uh, it is like this the stage. The stage is being set as we sit here this morning. The stage is being set all over the world, and Prabhupada spoke about this 50 years back or so. For the more people in general and the more leaders in the world today uh, deviate from these principles of dharma, then they simply increase the whole chaotic condition in the world. So Srila Prabhupada and all of our acharyas, especially because of their elevated consciousness, they're totally aware of this, and and they see and they try to convey to us who are not at that level the urgency of actually checking the situation by basically, essentially, uh, distributing this knowledge, and that is that is why book distribution in those early days was the main focus, and was such a focus that actually it was at one point became a big debate and point of controversy, that if you're not on book distribution, you are in Maya. We've come a long way. I mean, book distribution remains most important, but Srila Prabhupada had to intervene at one point because there was a big, controversy. Yeah, that any activity of devotional service, when performed as prescribed in the Shastra and with love and devotion, is also pleasing to the Lord. And you're not necessarily in Maya if you're not going out on book distribution every day. At the same time, actually, we have only, yes, there he is. We have only one book distributor here, Rajiv. And I'm hoping that gradually, when you go out, actually, you should, maybe you're already doing it, you should try to pull one devotee to go out with you. Yeah. I mean, don't force, but yeah, because it does remain, you know, it's like, yeah, that was the mood that Srila Prabhupada really injected whenever there's opportunity to introduce people um, to this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So, any comments on this?
You have very correctly mentioned that Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur had spent a lot of time in his last times. He was regularly going from Kolkata to Puri, spent time in Bhajan, near to Haridas Thakur's place, and he left his body there.
Oh, you found out?
Yeah, I got it. So also he was almost paralyzed, but he was arranged to visit from Kolkata from 1904 to the 13.
13 or 14, right? 13.
From 4 to 14.
Yes, correct.
10 years he was spending these two places.
Yes. So there's his Bhajan Kutir in Jagannath Puri, which I think ISKCON has. Or he's looking after? I think so. I've not gone to Puri for
It's a very important place for for getting the mood of separation.
Yes.
He was not going to Vrindavan
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Bhajan there, but he was going to Puri.
Yes. It's interesting, right? Because who else actually left Vrindavan to come to Puri? I mean, to come to Mayapur. Sometimes, we think of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the topmost, but we know that in Goloka, there are these two leelas going on simultaneously, Gaura Leela and Krishna Leela. Yeah, separate, but the amazing. What's the amazing thing? There's so many amazing things. The amazing thing which is revealed by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the Brahma Samhita, one of the purports. I think you probably, well, I'm sure you all know. The amazing thing is that only those who are devotees of Lord Chaitanya, when finally we go back to Goloka, we will simultaneously, inconceivably, be participating in both leelas at the same time in our spiritual body. Don't ask me any questions. But it's like now, Vishwadika Mataji and her husband, they had to take a train to go to Vrindavan. That won't be the case once we go back there. It's going to be happening at the same time. Now different locations, but they're somehow in ways that are totally inconceivable to us, because actually the spirit, even yogis can do things that are extraordinary. What to speak of when we are in our original transcendental spiritual body. So one can be simultaneously at two places, fully absorbed in the leelas that is going on there. Yeah. So unless we read the Bhagavatam, we won't be reminded of these things. But one devotee, early devotee, Srila Prabhupada, what's his name? Yogeshwar. Yogeshwar, he's a tall American. He was with Prabhupada when Prabhupada met the mayor of Paris or something. Devotees were arranging all kinds of, meeting important persons. And he was relating how, meeting the mayor. I mean, normally people, when a big personality steps in, if the king is going to come in, everyone stands up and So Yogeshwar Prabhu had told Prabhupada, when the mayor comes, you should stand up. So he didn't know what Prabhupada would do.
Right.
So he was nervous. He started sweating. The moment came when the mayor, so everyone stood up. Prabhupada just sat down. He didn't stand up. And but he was mentioning Yogeshwara Prabhu. One time he was having some discussions with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was telling him about some of these writings of the Goswamis.
Goswami.
Huh?
Writings of Goswami.
Yeah, he was describing some of the writings, and he was starting to explain some of the leelas and what time. And at one point, Yogesh Chandra said, this was too much for me. Prabhupada was describing things that could not be so easily understood, and he kind of like offered his obeisances, I think, and I forget, he was serving him and he went away. But yes, there are these subject matters. That's why also it's a ninth offense, right? To instruct the faithless. I mean, it falls in that category. To reveal prematurely subject matters that are extremely confidential. That's why devotees sometimes, and even, I mean, it was happening during Prabhupada's time, and it's happening even now. When one spends possibly maybe too much time in Vrindavan, because there is injunction also, one should only be 3 days in Vrindavan, isn't it? Yeah, people who have spent a lot of time in Vrindavan. There's a danger of going ahead of ourselves, or of well, Lord Chaitanya gave the example personally by never discussing the confidential pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, only with Sarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, his two most confidential associates. Otherwise, he would never discuss in general. And same thing, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would keep very general discussions. Okay. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Sri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Pimanandi. Hare Krishna. Where did you find it? Where did you find it? About Bhaktivinoda Thakur leaving his body in Puri.